You're going to want to start by hooping the cutaway stabilizer, and then you're going to run color stop 1. So right after running step 1, that's the placement stitch, and you do that without any fabric on there, just the stabilizer. You're going to want to use this vinyl that you want for the top, place it over those stitches, and then you're going to want to run step 2. Okay, we just ran step 2, and that was the applique placement. Now we're going to use whatever fabric that you plan to use for the applique part. It could be cotton fabric or another piece of vinyl. I'm using a piece of PUL that I have. You want to put that right over. And then you're going to run color step 3, which is the applique tack down. So now that the applique tack down has been done, we're going to remove the hoop carefully from the machine. Do not take this out. And then we're going to cut out along the applique fabric only. So we're going to cut along the applique fabric carefully. You can get as close as you can to the stitches without cutting the stitches. If you kind of cut the stitches, it's not a huge deal. Just be careful after that. Okay. And this is what it should look like when you're done cutting it out. And then you're going to add this back to the machine, and then you're going to run color stop 4, which is the satin stitch that goes around this. Okay, so we're adding this back to the machine. Alright, so step 4 has just finished. We're going to just flip this over. We have another piece of vinyl. We're going to add to the back of this, and we're going to secure it down. I use painter's tape. You can use whatever you prefer. Now that we put the backing on and secured it, we're going to add this back on here carefully. And now we're going to run steps 5 through 6. And here we go. So now we did all the steps. This is what it should look like when you're done. You're just going to want to cut all the jumps. You're going to want to remove the tape. Take it out of the hoop. This is what it looks like out of the hoop, and start cutting it out. I don't like to get too close to the stitches. And I really like to take my time with this because I don't want to ruin my project. There's one. And so on this one we have the bean stitch option, and with this you're going to want a tool, like some sort of hole punch. I use the largest size on this one for these, and you just put it right in there, and you punch it out. There you go. And then you're going to want to use grommets or eyelets. I use the ones that have a backing. This will do white. So this is for the front. You'd put this like that. And then you're going to put this backing piece on the back of it. And they usually come with these little kits with the tools. And you put that on there. And then this side with the hole, you put it in there. And use a hammer and you hammer it down. I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, and that's what that should look like when it's all put on there. Just in this one. So you do that with all 4. Get those ones done too. And then that would be done. And in the next part of the video, I'm going to show you the one with the satin stitch for the holes instead. I wanted to add that if you don't want to put the applique fabric in there, you can skip steps 2 and 3 and just use whatever kind of vinyl, whatever color you put down first, and just use that. You don't have to do applique, just skip those steps. Or you could even run those steps and then the satin stitch will stitch right over them. Alright, so for this one we're going to do the dragon wings, which has no applique steps. It's just pretty straightforward. You're going to want to hoop your stabilizer. I use medium cutaway for almost everything. You're going to run color step 1 for the placement stitch. So now that step 1 is done, you're going to want to put your vinyl on top of that. Just make sure it's covering the stitches with a little bit left over. And then you're going to run step 2. And now that step 2 is done, we're going to step 3. Remember, there's no applique in this, so you do not cut anything. You just use that 1 layer of vinyl for the top. Alright, now that step 3 is done, you're going to carefully remove this from the machine. And this is what it will look like. And then we're going to put the backing on now. Now that the back's on securely, we're going to change the thread out to match the wing colors better. And then we're going to run steps 4 and 5, and we'll be done. Alright, so now we have the hoop back on the machine. Alright, now we're all done with stitching. I'm going to remove this, check all the stitches, make sure everything's right. This is what it should look like. Cute. I already cut most of the jump stitches. Here we go. So for this, we did the satin for around the holes. My machine kind of blooped it up. Remove that tape. And we'll just cut these out. There. So now, with these, when we do it with a satin stitch, you don't need grommets or eyelets. You just need the hole punching tool. For this, I use not the biggest one, so I don't accidentally cut the stitches, because you don't want to cut those stitches. And every once in a while it misses some of the back. just cut it out because it doesn't really matter. So there's that. Alright, and there you have it. You have the bat wings, the bean stitch version, where you would put the eyelets, grommets, and applique. And you can always skip the applique and just do whatever vinyl color you want to do on the top. And the dragon wings that are no applique and with the satin stitch for the hole, where you don't need grommets or eyelets. There you go.